I'm Heather Garbett. I'm one of the directors at the Counselling and Psychotherapy Centre, and I'm here today with Linda Clarke. Welcome, Linda.
Good morning.
Now, Linda is a personal coach and Imago relationship counsellor. Can you tell us a bit about what you do? Let's start with your work.
Right, so as you've said, I'm a personal coach, and my background is hypnotherapy and neuro-linguistic programming. When people come to see me for the very first time, often they're feeling helpless and hopeless because they may have a feeling or an aspect of their life which they're not really able to cope with. And I really would like them to go away in that very first session with an understanding of what is actually causing the problem, because often they think, this or that is the problem. But having spent a little bit of time with them, I help them to understand what it is that is really bothering them and what they need to change. So with mindfulness meditation and hypnotherapy, if there are stress and anxiety issues, I can give them tools to help themselves so that by the time they leave, they've got something practical that they can use to help them. It may also be that somebody wants to make some changes in their life, that they don't feel that they are progressing, and really, once again, with coaching questions, I help them to understand where it is they want to be, the steps, clearly defined steps, so that they know where they're going. So really, my sessions are talking about what they want to change rather than talking about the past and talking about what they don't want in their life. I also specialize in fertility coaching. I'm a fertile body method practitioner, and I'm using hypnotherapy and other mind-body approaches to create mind-body balance to improve fertility for conception and the efficacy of assisted reproductive technologies such as IVF and ICSI and all those other things. Thirdly, I mentioned relationship counselling. I mentioned Imago, and that probably won't mean a lot to many people. But basically, instead of a couple coming to my rooms and complaining about each other, Imago really has a structure. And once again, in that very first session, I'm giving people the tools to coaching them with a structure to say what they want, to say what they're not happy about, but also show appreciation, and even talk about difficult issues, yet stay connected. Because what often goes wrong with relationships, people complain, they judge, they criticize, and then the other person stops listening. So this structure helps people to move, to actually say and voice their frustrations, yet stay connected. And that is the actual difference. So I'm giving them, once again, tools to help themselves. I'm really, really passionate about equipping people with the tools to help themselves. And so whatever work I do is really based on that.
That's brilliant. So you're future focused, you're skill focused, and you're positive thinking focused.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Solution focused.
Solution focused, yeah, got you. That's lovely. Thank you for explaining that.
Mm.
Now, can you say what actually took you into this work?
I had a horrible abusive childhood, and I have a passion to help people. I love people. I'm always fascinated by what makes people tick. And I have great empathy. So really, that is the passion in my life. Yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you're obviously not from these shores, or maybe you were originally, I don't know. But can you tell me a bit about your history?
Yes, I'm an Essex girl, actually. I emigrated to South Africa in 1983 with a young family, a 4-month-old baby and a 3.5-year-old. We went to South Africa and we had a great life. For quite a few years, I was raising my children and helping my husband run an engineering business. And I trained in 2006. Just prior to that, I was a Samaritan's counsellor. And that was really the start of my journey. And I then determined that I wanted to train and do something to engage with people. So I was in private practice in Johannesburg for 11 years, and I came back to the UK 3.5 years ago, and I'm relaunching my business here.
That's wonderful. Wow, what a journey as well. That's
Yes.
courageous steps every step of the way.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of empathy for people making big decisions in their lives.
Yes, and really help them to clarify what is holding them back, what needs to change, what is the core issue of the problem. But it's always looking about where they are now, where they want to be, and how we're going to get there.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. So what drew you to working at the centre? What brought you to us?
Well, when I knew that when we'd made a decision to come back, I'm a very driven kind of person. I knew I was coming to Swindon, so I started looking online even whilst I was over there. I didn't even wait. And I saw the centre online. First thing that drew me really to it was it's in a really good position, it's safe, it's well run, it's in a very well lit area. And you know, there's parking, safe parking, lots of parking nearby, because that's often an issue.
Clients.
Yeah, it's great for clients. But then I was amazed and delighted and thrilled that you two directors, you and Christine, you really gave me a drilling. You're not selling space to practitioners. What I really was pleased about is that all your practitioners, whatever they do, are carefully selected. And I love that, because I'm very client-centered. I don't always try to be everything to my client, and sometimes I like to refer out so that my client gets everything they need. So I can very confidently refer my clients to anybody in the centre, because I know that they are qualified, they're professional, and they reach the standards that you and Christine have set up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. Yes, it's a matter really close to our hearts.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Linda. I think people have got a really good picture of what you offer and who you are and where you work. I think we've covered everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi again, and I'm just wondering, what has been the highlight of your career?
Well, I was approached by Fox TV. This was in Johannesburg. They were doing a fly on the wall documentary about being Mandela's granddaughter. And there were 3 granddaughters that they were doing this documentary about. And one of them, Zaziwe, had a phobia of cats. So the film crew came to my rooms, and 2 of the granddaughters came. So Zaziwe, and I can't remember, Swati, I think, is the other lady. And it really blew my mind, because Zaziwe looked just like Nelson Mandela. She had that same mouth and chin. And it was just absolutely lovely. And, you know, the thing is, typically if I'm doing hypnotherapy with somebody, I want to spend a bit of time getting to know them. Not everybody responds to hypnotherapy in the same way. And I knew I wouldn't have this opportunity. I had to go, just chat to her briefly and go for it. And I just had to cross my fingers and just hope that she responded well, because the cameras were rolling. And she was absolutely the most fantastic subject for hypnotherapy. So the stars were aligned for me. And then after the filming, the other, her sister, who was waiting in my rooms and waiting in my office, was obviously she'd been looking at all my certificates, because I do a lot of other things as well, Reiki and all this kind of thing. And she'd been looking at all the things I do. And I probably chatted to her for about an hour afterwards. And that was just such a lovely memory. As I said, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but the stars were aligned, and I couldn't have asked for a better subject, and we got a result too. So that's just a lovely memory.
How beautiful is that? I've heard you talk about that before, but never with such warmth and depth. And it's such a delightful thing to be able to do for somebody, free them from a phobia. And all
Yes.
credit to you to be able to do that in those circumstances, to
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah, it was putting a lot of pressure on her and a lot of pressure on me, because, people generally have a misperception of what hypnosis is. And typically, I would spend probably half an hour chatting to a new client and setting their mind at rest and dehypnotizing them about all the perceptions they have about, what they think hypnosis is. And she just went for it, and she was just perfect. So I say I probably only had 10 minutes with her before the cameras rolled, but I managed to establish instant rapport with her. And as I say, she was a natural. Some people need to a bit of practice. They need to learn. It's not that I'm taking control of them, but they've got to feel comfortable to uh, to really go with it. So we were both just lucky on that day, but it was a lovely memory to meet the great man's family.
How
And this
beautiful.
was before he'd passed away. Yes, it was before he passed away. So it was lovely. Lovely memory of Africa.
Oh, congratulations and thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.